boy before. I load my bags and hit the road. I'm headed to LA. Headed on my way. I'm headed on my way to LA. Headed on my way soon.
Couple thousand miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I'd have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign. Yeah, to remind myself why I'm living this life. Look it up.
Another day, another time, race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down. I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road. I'm headed to LA.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
All right, well, welcome everybody, and we're here for ESL Challenger League in North America Season 49. Myself, Laz, and joined here with Paladin, of course, here on the stream, and we're going to be bringing you a riveting matchup with Legacy taking on Marsborne. So let's not forget, this is a matchup where we have the ranked 9 team right now of Legacy still proving themselves to get some wins and getting themselves in that top 10, which they've achieved, but just keeping that undefeated streak alive a little bit in some sense. And you got Marsborne that are sitting just ahead of them, but these guys are neck and neck in terms of the standings. And Paladin, I think we got lucky with a bit of a bar burner game on this one.
Yeah, I mean, on the A stream, NRG and Chicken Coop will be taking on each other there. But yeah, I think B stream always stands for best stream when you look at the matchup that we've got today between Legacy and Marsborne. And you mentioned the standings. We can take a look at them, and you'll see that I don't necessarily think that Marsborne and Legacy are the 8th best team in the league or 9th best team in the league, respectively. I think they're very competitive at the top end, and just having a playoff berth is enough for them to do some serious damage. I think both of them would love to get the wins today. 2-0 sweep for somebody like Legacy would love it if they could just kind of eclipse Marsborne, PA, maybe get into that 6th, 5th slot, potentially lock in an upper bracket slot. They would love that, to have an extra lifeline. Same goes for Marsborne. They're playing for basically those limited number of spots, especially considering teams like maybe looking for Org or Vagrants might potentially drop a best of 1 here or there. So trying to take advantage of this best of 1 series is going to be absolutely paramount.
Yeah, it really is, right? I mean, that's, again, like, I'm glad we're able to bring up the standings of this, because, again, we talk about, like, Legacy with 12 wins and 10 losses, kind of sitting at that number 9. And I agree with you, like, the fact that we're sitting that these guys are pretty much in these placements. I mean, Legacy definitely should be the higher point of this, but we know that they had to give up a bunch of matches in the beginning. You know, they've been traveling a lot. And, I mean, that's kind of the other thing here, too, right? I mean, Paladin, is the fact that I'll let you kind of take the wheel on it, but we know that Legacy have put themselves and booked a ticket here for Bucharest, so these guys are getting ready to go, you know, international and play some heavy competition as well. So this is kind of a good opportunity where they can just kind of fine-tune everything as well before they hop on the old plane.
Yeah, I mean, they've really leveled up their game over the last few weeks. You talk about that Bucharest one. That was huge for their MRQ standings as well, so they're locked in for that. So they've got a very busy couple of months ahead of them, where you've got ECL playoffs on the horizon. You've got Bucharest, and they even qualified for Dallas pretty comfortably. So they're going to be a very, very busy team in the near future. And this is basically the tip of the iceberg. This matchup today against Marsborne. They've got this best of one series and one more against Super Evil Gang, and after that, it's basically just on the road for them. So a lot on the line for them in that sense to just get started and have all the good spirits, the good vibes going into this big road trip, and against a stiffer bit of competition like Marsborne. It'll be good for them. I'll be very curious to see how they fare in this matchup. They get to play on Anubis, which I don't necessarily think it's the greatest legacy map in the pool. And I think Marsborne have a fairly good shot at showing something here. So excited for this opening matchup in this series.
Yeah, me too. Like, I mean, I think, there's been a lot of highlights that you and I have actually been able to capture for both these teams, but it's been interesting because, again, we definitely agree that Legacy, we felt like overall they should be higher, and they're definitely a team to watch because we know they're progressing. Like you said, they get to go to Dallas as well. I didn't remember to mention that piece as well because, I mean, they are going to be busy. They got a lot of tournaments. They got playoffs pretty much in the brink here, but this is important too for Marsborne because, again, this has been a really exciting team where I think there's a lot of these players that kind of came from different avenues and different teams, and they've been combined together, and things are actually working pretty good, right? I mean, it's not maybe the full results they want, but I mean, honestly, things have looked pretty promising, and it's been really, really cool to see what a roster like this can achieve. But if these guys, playing these two best of ones might be able to have a split, or if Marsborne might be able to cause a little bit of an upset, it's definitely possible. Like, let's not forget too, like Marsborne have definitely been able to have some decent results. Like they went to, Philadelphia, like where they were right behind Blue Jays, where they went into the grand finals and things like that. And, they didn't have the best, results in terms of some of the qualifiers more recently, but they've also beaten teams like NRG, right? I mean, that was only just a few days ago where it was like a 2-0. So we know that these guys can really, really pack some heat. It's just a matter of who's going to be able to show up here today and just given the two best of ones. But look, and I mean, the other thing as well, I'll let you kind of talk about him, but it's Dumal. The guy is a monster. We just need to see if he's going to be able to keep making that form happen.
I think he will, and he has been for years at this point. I mean, you see the good work that Legacy has done in terms of their core. I think one of, if not the strongest core in Brazilian CS beyond, your Furias and your Pains. And I think this team is definitely up there in terms of the amount of firepower they've got. And it's helmed by this guy who has been criminally underrated within the scene for a long, long time, cranking out stellar rating after stellar rating. And that's why he is Arcadia player to watch. And Marsborne are going to be aware of this. You've got some heavy hitters on the other end where you look at players like Grizz, who have had a lot of impact over the last few months. You talk about MOTM, and most recently Minus, who not too long ago, actually, it's been a bit now, maybe a couple of years ago, I made a video on this guy thinking that maybe he could be the next big prospect in North America, and then he disappeared. He cited personal issues. He had to hang the mouse and keyboard for a little while, but now he's back. He's hungry. He's got a great org backing him as well, and I feel like this guy is that X factor that really defines whether Marsborne can be a great team or a good team or even an average team. If this guy can be there, that's where all of a sudden you've got a core that can go toe-to-toe with some of North America's best, and we can have a little bit of ourselves a game. So looking out towards him, towards this matchup specifically against Legacy. But yeah, again, Dumal still high up on that list in terms of priority.
Yeah, it's really, it's easy to talk a lot about Dumal, right? And again, like, when you look at their roster and again, like what he's able to do, like he is their best player, right? Statistically, I think he was sitting at like a 1.20, 1.21, right? And that's the thing is where I think you and I have been able to capture a couple of the games where he was kind of absent, but someone like Lux that's been calling the shots, like he's even playing really, really well. Like that's again where you and I were going on a rant about, IGLs that are actually fragging. So it's a good thing to see, right? And that's what's been really exciting about Legacy is the fact that they really just have gotten better, and better, right? And whereas Marsborne, it's still the same case in some degree, a little bit different, but at the same time, I don't really know if there's like a pop-off player. I think, Grizz is the guy that you and I normally talk a lot about just because he's kind of this like young talent that's been around and kind of waiting for him to just kind of get off the leash and just really start to run away with it. But I'm waiting for a little bit more from these guys, but that they still excite me though, right? Like they really is a lot of things that they've been able to accomplish. I think they just need a little bit more time, but a map like Anubis, it's, Paladin, I want to know your thoughts, but I mean, like, look, like, I don't know if this is going to be an easy one, but by any means, like, I mean, I think statistically it still favors Legacy historically, but I think Marsborne have been able to show that they can cause upsets on this.
Yeah, I don't mind this veto from Legacy not going into Inferno. I think that's a map that, although they've got an 80% win rate, I think it's still a map that they've not completely figured out. I don't think it necessarily even suits their playstyle as much, where you want to biff and brawl a little bit more. And on that T side, if you want a player on your extremities to go swinging for the hills, you absolutely can. And that's where you can get that really awesome, momentous T side that Lux can really call, has developed a pretty solid calling style for. And I think that's where they'd be happy to go towards, even though it's not necessarily their best map in their pool. But Marsborne are no slouches, no doubt. I mean, you talk about their win rate, you talk about the wins that they've definitely had. I mean, going toe-to-toe with Blue Jays on LAN at the block was an important win. They've gotten wins over M80, and look, I think M80 is probably the best Anubis team in North America beyond behind Liquid, probably at that point. Yeah. So I think that's a very solid win to get, all things being said. So they're not slouches on it either. So I think we've got a pretty even matchup in terms of strength of map.
Yeah, definitely think so. Well, it looks like we're getting ready to go into this pretty quickly, which is definitely exciting. And like you said, I'm glad you bring it up. The fact of, them taking down like M80 is definitely something where, I would agree. M80 is a really, really strong team on a map like this. So that's where we were saying, like, this map alone for this best of one is just so critical. And then just again, just repeating it in case people are just joining, is the fact of the placements, right? I mean, the rankings are so close, and that's where we said Legacy really have to, bare minimum get at least one best of one in their favor. I mean, really for these guys, like, they're banking on getting the double just so that they can kind of maintain that top 10 position for playoffs, right? But there's a lot riding for both these teams. So it's just, the knife round's just going to be commenced, and we should be getting underway shortly, but it's really going to come about who's going to, flood out the gate quickly, in my opinion right now, Paladin. I think that's going to be setting the tone, especially with CT sides. I feel like we've seen a lot of teams that have been able to change their composition a lot, change up their game plan, and a lot more closer score lines, I would say, in some regards, which has been really cool to see on a map like this.
Yeah, I definitely think on the T side, on a map like Anubis, it kind of plays itself. I don't think it's the most complicated map to call on that offense, especially if your extremity players are putting in work. It's more that defense and how you maneuver around the rotations there and make sure that this A bomb site is never kind of underutilized or undermanned and always has a couple of rotations instantly there, and then also helping out in middle. It's a very fine tightrope to walk, and I'll be very curious to see how Legacy handle that, now having to start on the defense here in this opening map of the series. Welcome to Anubis, folks. Legacy Marsborne, a battle in the middle of the pack here in terms of ECL standings, and flying out amid is Grizz, the tip of the spear here onto this A bomb site, and already met with a little bit of resistance. It's Dumao.
Oh man, and the fact that Dumao's been able to just find this double, but a nice little bit of a compilation here from Marsborne to bring it back to the 3-3, but man, Chop takes a really good timing on this. So now, leaving Lux and Lotto, the last two guys remaining, and again, they got the armor. They don't have a kit or anything. They do have a smoke if they could try to go for something, but time is definitely going to be the essence on this, just because with no kit, means they're going to have to be able to find these duels quickly. They're doing some good tagging, but now Lotto, a big task in hand here. He has to be able to find him, and instead, he's going to get a full face of Letty with a Glock, and Marsborne, they're going to start things off pretty swiftly with a nice pistol.
Deceptively simple strategy there from Marsborne, where they charge 4 out into middle. You've got a late lurk and Rugs, and that late lurk actually wins them the round. There was basically, I think, a double or triple setup there in A main. You've got Chop as that late kind of pincer in. Once they've actually taken contact from the middle of the map, you've got bodies turned. Nissim is about to pounce with that trigger discipline to stop the bomb plan, really cause a ruckus. Chop is there to eliminate him, and if that doesn't happen, you've got a 3v3, 2v2 kind of situation where the CTs are definitely favorable with A main control. So credit to the impact from Chop, a player that I want to see a lot out of. I think he's definitely one of the more underutilized, undershining players on this team. And if he can have a little bit more of an impact, as I mentioned, one of those extremity players, you've got a whole lot more potency on this team.
Oh, man. Look at how fast they're just trying to, again, pounce onto the same main control. But, I mean, thankfully, for Marsborne, they got a really good read on it. It's just a little bit of a bait and switch, and now they already have a bit of a sandwich already commenced as well. Wolfie should be able to find the easy kill, and now they're actually just going to go for the hunt. I think this is not a bad idea. It's a little risky in some regard because they want to make sure they can keep these guns, but even Wolfie getting a little bit overextended, that will cost him a Mac 10, so nothing too much to sweat about. But look at the HP. Everybody, all three players here are just absolutely lit. Like, you know, a 20, 15, 6. This is not the greatest position in the world, and this is where we should be seeing Marsborne be able to just kind of clean things up. They might just lose Chop considering his HP is considerably low, but I don't know. He's still picking up some sick duels, and now Sodson trying to see if he might be able to find a little bit, but Chop once again will pick up a 3-piece, and yeah, he's already picking up some slack here, Paladin. Not bad at all.
Yeah, plays it safe there. Doesn't actually try to vie in for a duel early. I think it's a key thing where you've got to learn, you know, when to go all in and when to kind of fold and back away as one of those A main players. It's a very hard role to balance that kind of seesaw of aggression and passive play, but Chop does well there. Of course, it's going to be up to an octave here now that the guns are actually out. But instant canals control being taken upon Marsborne. 3 players bounding into the water. And Wolfie instantaneously finding an entry onto Luck. That's a big piece. That's E-box control taken at a minute 30. A lot of pressure put onto that B-bomb site. And instant rotations coming in from the CTs. Wolfie's got a lot that he can do with this opening pick.
Yeah, that's honestly really big, and I'm glad you bring that up because, again, Wolfie's definitely somebody we've given a lot of criticism about at times, right, with different iterations of rosters he's been on, but that's where we want to see where he can be able to capitalize with the op and what he's going to be able to find. So taking out Lux right away is definitely a nice little bit of a bonus, but luckily right now for Legacy, they're going to be able to find themselves a little bit of a bounce back. Looks like Nissim, I don't know, gets caught a little bit open here. Oh man, Modem, he's hungry, but I was thinking maybe he's going to go for the swing. Instead, he's just going to play cool. He's going to hang out, waiting things out, and even Grizz, he might try to be a little bit of diversion right now. And Marsborne making some noise in A main, but they got plenty of time to work with right now. So again, they don't have to overextend this. An easy duel, but no, Lotto actually does get the best of him here, sparing with 9 HP. So Marsborne should be able to get themselves in this A site, but again, this post plant is going to be critical. They only have a smoke remaining. They're going to have to utilize that quickly, and Dumal gets the information, but now, what is Legacy going to actually be able to do with this?
They're going to have to converge somehow, and Sadzin's on this fast A main flank, and he gets 2. That just completely uproots this situation. An advantageous position for the T's. It makes Minus have to come up with a 1v3 clutch. Flanked from all sides. He just doesn't catch the timing there. Expecting Dumal to be a little bit slower, but he's aggressive as ever. Legacy bounce back to get themselves their first round on the board. And honestly, really well played in terms of how they were constantly active there. Making sure that they're aware of potential lurk plays that Grizz had out in B main, but also having rotations in case something goes wrong through the middle of the map. So that's the kind of sign that you would like to see from a good CT side here on Anubis.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like when we talk about CT sides, like Marsborne, I mean, statistically has always been way better on their T side. We know this is a T-sided map, of course, but I mean, these guys are really going to have to bank on getting as much of a buffer on this as they can, because their CT side hasn't always been the greatest, whereas I think Legacy definitely have themselves a lot more of a better defense on this map compared to them. So this will be interesting to see how well Marsborne might be able to utilize this attacking side, but they actually lose that engagement in mid, and Dumal actually does get the better of him with just a little bit of HP to spare in the difference. And Marsborne, again, just kind of posting up. They got the op out once more here for Wolfie. And he's a little bit on the hunt right now, so he's just, again, on the back skirts of mid. A little bit indecisive of what they want to do. They're just really, really waiting things out. They got plenty of time, obviously, but Legacy, I like the fact that they're not just overextending yet. They're still kind of playing the 2-3. And allowing, it looks like Dumal still kind of holding a back position in mid. Marsborne might just try to go for what they did on the pistol round, right? I mean, it was pretty much an easy take into mid. Try to just get themselves across, a little bit of a sandwich attempt. This is going to be important here for Nissim. He has to be able to get this utility to slow these guys down, and he can reposition. If he doesn't, this could be really, really problematic. And there you go. The smoke's going to block things off, but oh no, he falls down. And now Grizz able to get the trade out. So you see Marsborne quickly onto this, and they've gotten full control of this site.
That's lovely stuff there. completely breaking through that utility with sheer numbers. And it definitely helps that Grizz finds that necessary entry. I mean, Legacy, yeah, you've got some fast flanks that have happened in a couple rounds before, but this one's a bridge too far. Great work there. Great call from Wolfie. Very similar to that state of the pistol as well, where they just want to brute force this A bomb site and really force Nissim to stand up and deliver. But so far, hasn't had that key level of impact just yet. He's getting that one and done, not stalling long enough for potential rotations as well. So Marsborne doing a key job at targeting this first letter of the alphabet. Legacy now saving 3 guns. They can repurchase, no problem, but already you can start to see signs of weakness on one half.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Like I was thinking, like I said, I was giving some praise for Legacy, and I was thinking, look, like their defense has been decent, but right now Marsborne have really been able to take their number a little bit, which is a great thing to see as well. And it's not even like anything like, you know, of a crazy strategy or anything like that. It's really just been finding the right timings, like you said, and getting this mid control has really just caused a little bit of a gap here for Legacy. And I love the fact that they've been able to, I think normally it was Modem that's been pushing into A main, but now they're kind of just getting this map control so fast. Double nade's going to land. Actually, in solids, it does get caught with it a little bit. Pin's going to hit his shoulder, and now they can decide. I mean, they can just, again, try to burn as much utility on the CT side. They got lots loaded here, and they've actually committed 3 players at this B site. They're just leaving it for solids and Nissim to hold it down. They might even just try to go for the fight, but Nissim actually does win the engagement, so that's a decent pickup. And now it's cost him with 3 HP to spare, and even Grizz gets caught a little bit on the positioning, and his movement just seemed to be the Achilles heel for him. So now Legacy have really put themselves in a good kickstart here for round number 5.
Yeah, they actually have to adapt. They're sending 3 players into that A bomb site, and Marsborne got the adaptation that they were looking for. The conditioning was settled, but they couldn't actually capitalize. A little overzealous there from Grizz, hopping up on the window side of things. And they're going to still commit to this A setup. They're thinking that maybe a rotation would have come through, but they've been stalwart the whole time. Wolfie finds one. Maybe an incision's there, but yeah, that high-low setup is impenetrable as Legacy find themselves 2. But yeah, Marsborne don't necessarily do a lot with that conditioning that they were able to find. And Legacy, that's the kind of level that you see there, where if they find the adaptation, they're going to take it and run with it and really put the pressure back on the opponent. Forced by now.
A little bit of... Oh, go ahead, yeah.
For Marsborne, and straight away, Minus finds themselves an entry. Or Minus falls.
Minus gets out, yeah.
Entry death.
Yeah, entry death, yes. Yeah, Dumal, again, just doing what he does best. And again, player to watch. I mean, I think his ears were burning a little bit. 7-2, and he's already doing a great job. And this is exactly what I wanted to see too, right? I think we both can allude to that, but it was just something where Dumal has had some good games in the season, but it kind of felt like he was a little bit quiet more often than I was liking. So now that we're seeing him really picking up a lot here, this is a good thing. But now it does make me question a little bit of, like, when are we going to see Lux have his pop-off moment? Because, again, you and I have been able to capture a lot of their games so far this season where he has been stellar, right? He's just been a total stud. So I'm just waiting for him to have a little bit more success. He's had some unfortunate timings. And, I mean, right now Lux is creeping closely onto this E-box. Oh, man, but there you go. He's going to be able to be the smoke criminal on his own. Finds a duel. And now I'm on him by himself on a 1-on-4. I'm not a gambling man here, Paladin, but you know, if I'm on him, I'm not liking my odds. And yeah, he's a dead man.
Yeah, a bit hodgepodge there from Marsborne. I see the idea that he see the nade kicking up the smoke there in E-box, thinking that they can find a little bit of an incision in. But as soon as it doesn't work out, I don't think there's necessarily a need to spam there. You're playing a very dangerous game. And that's one where Lux capitalizes. He only gets 1 kill in the round, but that essentially seals the deal. It cuts off that prong of attack on the B-bomb side. Then you've got your side anchor in Lado, who's one of the better anchors from Brazil, and he'll get you that necessary kill and shut it down straight away. Now Sadzion's getting warmed up as well. from that E-box position. And Lux is feeling a little frisky as well. Spots out Grizz. Should have himself a little bit of a kill. That Molotov is... I don't necessarily know if you need to throw it like that, but that nade will certainly do.
This is... I'm just actually surprised. Like, he is on the full hunt. And, okay, I was going to say, if he's not even going to be able to win that fight, like, this is just giving up a gun here, but I don't know how he's getting away with these kills. I mean, surely the numbers were there. And Chop, okay. Nice little deagle action. He's got 81 HP, but unfortunately overwhelmed by the left and right. But I don't know, like, kind of a weird round for Legacy. I know it doesn't really matter, but it just felt like, I don't want to say careless. It just seems like a lot of aggression for something that I don't think you needed to do, especially when they knew they should have been on a light purchase. But say Levy, I mean, Legacy, they pick it up the round. It costs them 2. I guess no sweat off the brow, I guess.
All good. Still 2 AKs on the board for the CT side. And Sadzin considering himself an opening path here. That's an interesting smoke. Spots out 3 players. That's definitely not what he wants to get involved in. He'll dive back in the camera. Nade in, and he's still very keen on taking an engagement here. But look at this aggression. There's no way you're expecting Lux to have done this a second round in a row. And Wolfie's not clearing his angles all the way. So there is no awareness that this B main aggression is happening. And that really could cause some concern in the late round. At least it gives an extra bit of information for Dumao to cause an early rotation into this A bomb site. When this site is 3 players strong, they cannot get through Marsborne.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, some good utility. Again, just to slow Marsborne down a little bit. So now they're going to have to reconvene their new game plan. And Modem is in E-box and smoked out a little bit here. So they're waiting. They got 45 seconds still on the clock. Bomb on its own here in B main. So again, nothing to really worry too much about. But there's a lot of emphasis here for E-box control. And that's the thing. It's not the easiest angle. Modem actually is going to be able to find himself an opening duel. And actually gets away with a second one too. So I don't know, somehow, some way, he's able to just find this double kill that's allowed them to get the key into the site. And this is a tough one for Legacy because right now, yes, it's a 3-3. They can decide to go for this, and it might even happen because Dumao's coming in hot and heavy here from T-spawn. If he can find this kill against Wolfie, this is just going to give him plenty of time. He's got this for sure. He's got to be. Yes, there it is. And now Modem and Grizz and the post plant. This is where they have to hunt. They have to make a bit of a play here. This is where they got to do something. But they look a little stuck in the mud, waiting things out, and time's already halfway through. Triple kit's available, and Dumao with a big swing, and now just leaving it to Modem. The guy that was able to get the entry can't seem to lock down the site. And there we go. Legacy find themselves a 5th.
I mean, I like the idea there from Marsborne, is where they're kind of seesawing back and forth between the A and B bomb site, hoping that if they do get an E-box entry, they'll pounce on the B bomb site. You had that waiting presence outside with the bomb outside of B main, and as soon as the double entry comes through, it's a simple open and shut case, but you've still got A main extremity players trying to cut off rotations, and I think that's where I think you're overcomplicating the situation. Get back to spawn, get back to the bomb site, and help your teammates out, and instead of trying to play the save. And Legacy punish by death by 1,000 paper cuts, really. Just finding 1 kill at a time, getting into the right place in the right circumstances, and now you can kind of see the firepower of Legacy rearing its ugly head when you can really do whatever you want. You can win every 1v1 in the book, and that really causes things to become a little bit more difficult. Minus does find an entry though, and that does open up the door to this A bomb site. All 4 players can get into this bomb site freely. But the retake and this post plant is still going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, it really is. Because again, Minus he's got the armor, but again, he's lit. He's down to 39 HP, and then he's got the Tech 9s here to kind of hold his hand. And you got triple players coming in from Beach. They're going to dry things off. Now they're going to try to get themselves through a bit of a tight corridor. And now Modem holding a tight angle. The Molly's going to flush him out, but I don't know how they find these kills. And the Tech 9s will prevail. And Minus didn't even have to do anything at all. And they pick up some guns for reward, and Marsborne, they bounce right back into this Paladin. wild.
Yeah, you could say that again. I mean, sometimes you need those ecos to go your way, and this time around it works out splendidly. I mean, just being able to carve a path through mid again and again, that is something that has just really been working out for them. I think they've just got to find a way to manipulate that side of the map in the mid round with a couple of players instead of just having a late lurk, one singular player going into that play. But instead, they're just going to stick with this A main focus in the default. It's still not necessarily what you'd love to see, but they still want to keep conditioning Legacy. Good flash to set up Chop. They can at least get to the base of main. And yeah, with that utility, they should have that at least confirmed. They're going to exchange utility back and forth now. But I set here on E-Box potentially. Wolfie has found a couple of entries here to end B late, so keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, I do like this switch up. We've seen a lot Legacy just kind of, again, playing with different compositions and the defense and things like that, right? I mean, triple players at A, they've done triple players at B. They really mix things up to making it a little bit more problematic here for Marsborne. It's still a big guessing game. And now Grizz, I don't know, man. He tries to go in aggressively and now just feeding Sods in here with a triple kill. And he's just single-handedly locked this thing down. Bomb's going to be dropped here as well. This is a tough position right now for Marsborne. Again, Wolfie and Modem, I don't even know if it's worth it because you got 25 seconds. You got to fight for the bomb control. You have one PC utility available. And I think they're just going to admit it. I think they're just going to realize, you know what, again, like we just kind of let that one fumble.
Well, I think Grizz had the bomb there, and once he was spotted on the trade, they knew the jig was up. They knew the A hit was coming, so you might as well have committed. I think the other issue that he wanted to do as well was he was trying to strafe backwards and basically just try to jump peek the angle and cause Sadzin to shoot early. Unfortunately, he didn't hit the back strafe fast enough, and so it just looks like him diving forward into the op scope. So it looks a little foolish, but I like the idea. He's trying to just be a little bit more proactive there, especially with the timer ticking down. So doesn't work out in that situation. The micro a little bit off and Legacy capitalize again. This time you have Sadzin now warming up on this AWP, becoming a nuisance around the map, finding himself pick on mid, in B, in A now as well. These multi-kills are really causing up a little bit of a ruckus, and Marsborne cannot keep up with that in that sense. You can just see the outclassing in firepower, even though it's still a 6-4 scoreline.
Oh, and I was thinking bottom, yeah, he's going to get the smoke a little bit popped open, but not the greatest, and Lux again. Man, he gets away with it again. He's done this a couple times, and he's still going aggressive. Look at this, and he's even able to pick up an op. No way. No, not like this, Lux. He's cooking now. He's been quiet, but finally picks up another triple kill and leaving it just down to Grizz, and he's just thinking, like, what in the hell has happened to my teammates? And Legacy have been able to find themselves a 7th round with a big lead.
That's hot from the captain. I mean, he's tied for the highest rating in the last 3 months with his compatriot in Dumal. And now you get to see what kind of swagger this guy can have as an individual. I mean, he was absolutely a stud on the pain books. And now he's coming over here leading this young core and also showcasing that individual skill as well. Beautiful work there. That's about as crazy as it gets for Lux. Aggression back into mid, and I mean, I like the idea from Minus. They've been getting mid control, but that one a little bit too aggressive, Laz.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I definitely agree with the point that I like that they're going for mid control. I don't love the attempt, though. I mean, Minus was, I felt like he was really stuck. Like, he was, like, kind of dragging his feet to get there. And then he was kind of on his own to play this Mission Impossible task. And now Dumal just kissing. Oh, no, he has no idea. No way. No way. Okay, he's going to be able to find that duel. I was thinking, surely, who's going to be able to find this? But this round's been a little bit awkward here. Marsborne just really trying to scrape the barrel with what they can. But Chop is the last remaining player on a 1-on-5 here in the last round of the first half to do everything in his power to get this 5th round. But Legacy on the brink of finding 8. And they've already done so much damage, and Chop realizing 9 HP in a dream. With the Galil in hands, blind as a bat, and Lux, who other than him, is going to be able to put the nail to the coffin at 8-4. And we're going to take a little break, and we'll see you after.
Just shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Back to you.
Okay, well, Legacy have definitely been able to stay true to their name because so far it's looking like they might be able to pave themselves a win, but it's an 8-4 in the first half, and now they're going to be switched over on the T side. And Paladin, I gotta get your thoughts here because Marsborne statistically not the best CT side on this map. Do we think they got it in them? Do we think they got enough dog and a bit more bite left?
I don't know. I don't think so. Just considering off of the nature of how many individual plays you're getting out of these legacy guys. Doomau 17-4, Sad's in 11-4, Lux even having a hell of a round in that defensive half. And they're just going to keep it simple here, Legacy. They're just going to go bounding out in this B-bomb side. They have a cross smoke as well. Grizz does take one away before the C4 hits the dirt. And that does give an advantageous position. No kit involved, though, and that really puts a spanner in the works here.
Yeah, I don't love that. I really don't love that. Again, Olafly players, again, or most players with, with armor, but they have to rely on these fights, and oh my god, it is just falling apart. Oh, it's just like a Jenga set, and look at that. The only duel is Grizz to be able to find that in the very beginning, nothing afterwards. So Legacy do find an easy pistol round, but man, oh man, that's just so unfortunate for Marsborne. You can see they're ready to go for it, but they just missed every single duel in that encounter.
Yeah, you just need one kill to go your way there to maybe settle the apple or kind of rustle the apple cart there, really, and it never comes through. And now you're staring down the barrel of a 6-round deficit. I mean, it just gets really dicey at this point. You're gonna take a full save and take that 6-round deficit. Wow, that's a crazy boost to be looking for. Okay. I don't think people are doing that, but I respect it. I really respect the diligence there.
Yeah, you gotta be creative. I like it. This is good. Showing some innovation. Why not? I just hope it works now. I just want it to work.
Yeah, you just want to see the boost at this point,
I just
right?
want to
Yeah.
see the boost work out. Yeah.
Can we do a
Please.
triple boost? Can we do it? Can we make this happen? No. All three players just sitting in temple. This is horrible.
Oh no. This is the worst case scenario now. Legacy are just gonna have the smoke, and they can just walk on in, man. They can just kick their feet back a little bit. Oh, you can see Grizz. He might even just swing on this at the right. Oh, I can't believe he didn't see it. No way, Dumal. I thought he would have been able to find it. Oh my god.
Wait, hold on.
This might work. This could actually work. And they find 2 kills. That's gonna be 2 guns. Uh-oh. Legacy are now backpedaling.
They're trying to scamper. They're really trying to scamper back to the B bomb site. Nissim catches 1, but 2 guns still involved here, and a player already close long. Are they aware of how close Grizz is at this point? They're going to tap it just to make sure. And that does kind of put the alarm bells to rest for just a second. Now they pounce, though, and Wolfie finds himself a dink. The bomb planter is down for the count, but Lotto and Nissim get the job done. Crisis averted.
Man, that's a really good round, though. I mean, again, like we were talking about Marsborne just literally putting barely an investment. I don't even think they spent anything on that round. And the fact they were able to find 3 kills, and I mean, the plant went down, so money's good there for Legacy, but that was costly. I mean, that's a decent round for these guys, considering there was not really much on the table. But now they're locked and loaded, ready to go. 1 A4 only, which is always, I find that so interesting, because I feel like a lot of teams like using the A4 now, but we'll see. Lots of utility available here for Marsborne. And I feel like, I don't know, in this kind of a position, Paladin, like they're down by 6 like you were kind of predicting. Like, this is a tough moment. Like, do they want to try to go for an early duel? Do they want to try to find something and win that engagement? Or do they just want to play more passive? And right now, Modem's kind of like entertaining the idea, but Minus does get himself the IGL kill. So he's been able to find the bounty on this one. And finally, they do get themselves a man advantage.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to take this one to the house, because these have really come few and far between. Smoke up for Modem to hold on to this E-box control. Rocking it back and forth, our Legacy. And especially considering losing Lux in this circumstance, it does just slow down whatever approach they want to go with. They're considering this A split with just how much mid control that they do have, but they don't realize that Marsborne have given it up. They don't want to fight for it at all. They've got 3 players basically dedicated to that B bomb site. Essentially Minus as a fast rotation. And now Marsborne are getting up to even more antics, clearing out A main. I mean, they understand what's coming. They understand that this late B play is on the cards. But Nissim is very keen, aware of this possibility, but he turns away. He turns away just at the last moment. And now the onus is on these A main players to clear him out. Are they going to clear out this close angle? Yes, they are. Chop hits the dirt, and now this B bomb site should be held down.
Yeah, it should be. This is looking a lot better right now for Marsborne. They just got to make sure they can keep this number advantage in their favor. Legacy, yeah, they're just like, you know what? No time at all. We'll just keep these guns. Let's just hang out and give up the round. And this is a good one for Marsborne. Winning those 2 fights was huge. And like you said, the fact of, you know, the player in Canal just kind of turning his back at the worst moment in the world. I mean, just unfortunate for Nissim. But again, Marsborne definitely going to be praising a lot for that round. Keeping all 5 alive is huge as well, just in terms of the money. They don't have to stress too much about it. It'll help a little bit as we progress. But down by 5 now, Paladin. And again, kind of back to that original thing I was making that statement of do we see them maybe try to go for an engagement early on? Again, this is where we saw it was Minus that was able to find the opening duel quickly. Do we see it again? That's the most important piece for me.
Yeah, we'll take a look as this round develops. But we need a little bit more. Need a lot more. Yeah, honestly, in this situation, Lux jump spotting in through T-steps, the deep smoke, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. Really just jostling for control now, our Legacy. A little bit more aggressive from Nissim, but the B extremity player is down, and that really causes some concern there for Nissim. He'll back away, and all of a sudden, this T-sided round just slows to a crawl. Especially considering you just have no idea if B main's being cleared out in this kind of mid-round situation. You don't know what they're going to do on E-box, and as soon as the smoke fades, maybe, just maybe, they're going to go for a duel here. 2 players to greet the T side. But nobody shows. Nobody shows face.
Grizz. Oh, no. Oh, Modem has to be able to find this double. This would be huge. But again, his HP has just been costly. Even though he wins the fight, he's down to 5 HP. Chop should be able to have a free kill. No, Chop, you gotta look right. Look right. Look beside you. Oh, God, he's gonna be able to have a free kill. He's gonna be able to find a double kill, and he will. I was thinking, my God, he gave that up. But the trigger discipline prevails, and there we go. I was thinking, man, he might have let that one go a little bit too quickly. I didn't realize that the other player, I think those Sods, and that was just gonna run through the smoke. But counting his lucky stars and Legacy drop a secondary round in a row. So Marsborne, slowly and surely now, are putting themselves back into closer contention round by round here.
I don't even think, the craziest part is I don't even think it was intentional trigger discipline. I think he's hearing a player run down through canals and it'll eventually pop up in A main. He just wants to secure that kill. And he just so happens to turn around and find a second player like, oh, sure, I got 2 backs turned instead of 1. I'll take it every day of the week. And that makes a lot easier of things there for Chop. And Dumel will save this, and we know the potency of this player and what he can do when he has an AK in his hands. But it's got to be just him in this hero AK kind of situation. And when you're in this kind of scenario, a lot of times you just want to play for the trade. You want to let him trade as many kills as possible. You have a player jump around a corner. He trades. You die for this player to find an extra kill. And hopefully you can get some guns along the way.
Yeah, and the fact that Legacy are just kind of committing to this all together. They're not messing around anymore. They don't want to lurk things out. They don't want to take it slow. They just want to be a little bit more decisive. They want to just get themselves right into the site. But Dumel gets the opener, but it's short-lived. So now him, the player of the watch, has been dropped quickly. A 22-6, by the way. Like, just dropping monstrous performances right now. The only other player with double digits is Sodson. Oh my God, a knife from Sodson too. Oh, that's so cheeky. And now Chop. He's just getting away with murder.
What?
Oh my God, he finds a double kill in the smoke. This is just mayhem. And now Lux has to be able to find this duel. And he's all by himself, and he's going to go to the grave. And Marsborne, once again, man, they pull something, a rabbit out of the hat. And they've been able to find 3 in a row.
Yeah, you can have entries on that A bomb site, but Chop is just holding it down in the post. Just ludicrous kills there with the USP. I don't know, first of all, how he gets back into default and nobody hears the jump. I mean, it's a loud jump at that point. And then the swing around and just the blind fire into the smoke. Beautiful work there. And, you know, again, spoke about the kind of underperformances from this guy as an extremity player, as a supportive element. And this time he's leading the way. He's showcasing the possibility of a comeback. And now he's going to play a little bit more aggressive. He's going to flash for himself, duel straight in. But he doesn't like what he sees. He'll just take that information, he'll toss in a nade, and he'll back away.
Yeah, some good damage, though. A little bit of utility work here from both ends. And even Modem's matching the same HP here for Dumel. Good molly here to block off an E-box, and they're going to fight for this control once again. The flash comes in, and Lux does get himself the one-piece, but it's not a bad pickup at all. It's going to favor the T's any day of the week, but oh man, Grizz is even going to put himself in a little bit more of an adventure and a little bit more of an aggressive stance. Smoke going to block off his vision. But Legacy, you can see they're actually going to reconvene. They're going to go all the way through T-spawn, grouped up towards B now. And they might just try to go through the pop and B main now. Utility's getting a little bit more lackluster. Sodson's sitting full, but everybody else with just a flash each. Nissim just trying to, you know, distract them a little longer. But Grizz is in such a strong position right now because, again, he has the rotates cut off. He might be able to get the timing of this kill. And yes, he does with a one-tap nonetheless. Leaving it to Sodson. And Lotto now to be able to do something big here for the post-plant. Sodson on a hunt, looking for the blood. Grizz is just waiting for him. The bear trap is ready to go. Will he be able to find this, though? And Sodson, oh my goodness, the tiniest little micro peaks. And he's able to just win that. So now leaving it here for Minus to go for the swing. Just walks right into the scope. And this thing might be all over and Chop. It's just going to get caught in the kneecap. And Legacy, once again, come up with a clutch.
I mean, he knows, Sodson, how aggressive Grizz can be, especially after that tap comes through. There's no way he's going for the long flank. So just systematically cutting down every off angle as Sadzin picks up his gun of choice as well with the AWP. That obviously just cannot be calmed over. That first player that goes down, completely unaware that's a possibility. And then the wide swing comes through, but Sadzin hits the flick, and that's the guy that you like. Mr. Reliable, the guy that will hit the easy op shots to claim rounds. It's hard in this economy, I feel like. I don't feel like I see that all too often, but Sadzin's the guy that's going to get the job done for you and help bolster players like Dumao to have some Herculean performances like this today. 22-7 over 19 rounds. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, it's big numbers right now. And Sodzin's, like you said, Mr. Reliable indeed, because he's starting to pick up a little bit of Dumao slack, I guess, if you want to say it that way. But 16-7 here for him. Legacy, though, getting closer and closer here to finalizing this first best of one in their hands. But Marsborne, a lot riding on this one because, again, you got the MP9 here for minus. Utility's going to be a little bit more limited on this purchase. 2 smokes available. Sodzin's going to be able to find the 1. So the MP9 going to be removed from this equation. Sodzin finds another one, man. A double kill for him. Just putting this all up into full activation now. They're going to use this mid control that we've seen so much of. And they might just try to get themselves barreled into this A site, but they have to be prepared for this Grizz player that's just here on the top ground, and he has to be able to pop off, and it's just almost making the connection for the double. Comes a little bit short now. There's a big flank here from Lux. And this is the thing for Legacy. They only have 18 seconds. They have to get moving. They cannot wait any longer, and the bomb's going to get dropped. This is awkward. Chops right in front of him, and Modem gets the no-scope, but now with 1 player remaining, Modem has to be able to stay alive just so that they can win it with the timer, and he might have been able to do this. And Modem, you just got to burn 2 more seconds. What is going on?
They won it.
How does that happen? But Marsborne do get it.
Oh, man. Modem dropping through the heavens. You're thinking he's going to get it plucked out of the sky, but Lux can't convert the kill, and instead he's got $300 in his bank account, and no round. Oh, by the skin of their teeth. What a heroic play there from Grizz as well, just charging for that preemptive rotation, gets a kill, gets the incendiary off as well to kind of cut up the 1v1s. Oh, and that's just absolutely massive. It completely changes the narrative of this game altogether. Weaker purchase for Legacy, an opportunity for these CTs to claw back in, and look at this aggression from E-Box. 2 kills between Grizz and Modem, make it 3. Dumao will come bounding back in to save the day, but the damage is already done. Maybe Dumao can claw back a little bit more, and Lotto chases it down. Back into a 2v2 we go.
Man, I really like this idea from Marsborne, though. I mean, I love that they were starting to pick things up a little bit, you know, a little bit more spice into this round, and they just started to get really aggressive. And they were able to win a lot of open. Yeah, this is a lot of duels, and this is big because even right now, Modem, he's got himself creeping up. But again, this timing's going to be everything because Dumao's just right behind him. Oh my God! Oh, Modem gets away with a kill too. So now it's down to the 1v1. Wolfie with an MP9, no kit, no utility. He's just got the MP9 of death. Dumao, we're locked and loaded here with a Galil. He's been putting himself up with some big numbers. Wolfie looking to find himself the savior here from Marsborne. Walking through E-Box. Dumao going to be posted up in Temple. A quick prayer to be able to find themselves here a map point for the best of one. And Wolfie needs to be able to just eliminate all options. He's running. He's just frantically looking. He's trying to see what he can be able to do. He doesn't clear the corner, and Dumao plays this perfectly. And now Dumao just playing with his food. And Wolfie is back turned, and there we go. Legacy on the brink of finishing this best of one.
I mean, I really thought that little bit of a timing to bring it down to the 1v1 would have been everything there for Modem, but he does everything in his power. He gets the 1 kill. He leaves it to a 1v1 for his captain, but unfortunately, no kit, not the optimal weapon for the job either. He's got to alert Dumao as to where he is, and Dumao just plays it splendidly, man. Playing that power position of Temple, cutting down all options to potentially punish a rotation if it comes from mid, or if it is a E-Box play, he's got a advantageous position. Just the tuck in, the trigger discipline to make sure he doesn't overcomplicate that 1v1, potentially give a sound cue away. I mean, that's just textbook play there from the star of Legacy, and what a round from him to muscle them back into contention, rewrite all of the stories, say that the comeback was definitely just a scare tactic. It wasn't actually going to happen. And now they've got a good buy to do it against as well. MP9, the best weapon for the job.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of tension now. I mean, this is 4 rounds needed for Marsborne to be pushing this thing to overtime, and you can just tell there's a lot of patience on this one. 3 players here at the B site for the defensive Marsborne. Even the hesitation minus has already been tagged so low, so he's going to have to play really passive. The Legacy, they're just going to go for this. Oh, Lux, I was thinking maybe the timing and Modem would be able to find it, but Lux, once again, opening up the sights. He's an IGL, but apparently he's an entry as well, leaving it for minus, just the last player in this site. With 2 HP, with a 5-7 in hand, he has to have the best timing in the world, and oh my god, he just gets removed! And now Chop. What in the hell are you going to do for this? A 1-on-5 in Paladin. I think that's all she wrote.
Oh yeah, Legacy go into the 4 stack and they pummel Marsborne to the dirt. They give him a little bit of an inch to stand up and maybe throw a couple of punches back, but it's a knockout here from Legacy, and they completely batter this T side on Anubis and showcase why they are a class above Marsborne as of right now. And taking this map, got to feel pretty good in terms of the standings. And we look towards the second map in the series. I believe Ancient is waiting in the wings. A bread and butter map there for Legacy, no less. You'll be grinning from ear to ear with this result.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I mean, look, I got to give it to Marsborne. Like, you know, I was really critical about the fact of what they're going to be able to do in the CT side. But I really do think that, you know, they were able to make things a lot more competitive. A 13-8 is still a really decent scoreline against a team like Legacy. But like you said, I mean, Ancient is going to be the next one underway, and that's going to be a very interesting one, Paladin. Do you have any big things to look out for in this matchup, or do you think it could be a bit of a bar burner potentially?
I mean, it's tough to say because, look, Wolfie didn't really have the game that he was looking for, but Dumal certainly did. I mean, 25-8 with 121 ADR, no less, so credit to him. But yeah, you didn't have any of the win cons firing here today for Marsborne. You had no Wolfie show up, you had no Minus, you had no Grizz as well. And all of a sudden, things look very flat. The 1v1s don't look as consistent, and things just kind of don't look as strong as it could be for a team like Marsborne. So looking towards that next game, I mean, I hate to be reductive, but they've really got to show up in terms of the fragging.
Yeah, they definitely do. But you know what? We're going to take that little bit of a break. As you can see, the timer's going down, so we'll be back in just a few minutes, and then we'll get ready to go on Ancient. So we'll see you in a little bit. Don't go too far.
bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil, let him let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. Best in the game, we all know my name. Can't run now, it's too late. Got winning in my blood, in my DNA. It's destiny, it's fate. Unbreakable, unbeatable, undefeatable. I'm invincible. Unbreakable, unbeatable, undefeatable. I'm invincible. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil, let him let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. If you wanna be my love, only gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. If you wanna be my love, only gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that I got me wanted. Never thought that never thought that never thought that never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. Feel like something. Feel like something.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're ready to go, and we just finished the first best of one, and now we are commencing the second, which is going to be Legacy and Marsborne, and it is going to be on Ancient this time, so a little bit swampy waters. Laz and Paladin here to bring you through this action here for the last best of one on this stream here today. And Paladin, how you feeling? We had a decent first match, but now we're moving things over to Ancient, where this could be really, really interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think that Wolfie had a decent game plan out the gates to set the tone and have a little bit of momentum on Anubis, but it kind of fell flat eventually when once Legacy caught on. They had a quick rotation to a third player on the A, and it really fell apart for Marsborne. They didn't really have a plan B. What ended up working for them was those A splits, the consistent mid control, but they never really went back to it consistently enough. Couldn't create a base of T rounds to work with, enough of a buffer, switching over to that defense, and that's where, you know, the clutch ability of players like Sadzin, players like Dumao really took over, and it was just too much for Marsborne to handle. Now we move over to Ancient, where I'd argue things get even more comfortable for Dumau and crew on the Legacy side of things, and things get a little bit more difficult for Marsborne. I do feel like this is the home territory for Legacy. This is where I think the rifle core gets really dangerous. I think the chemistry between a lot of these players, be it the cave player with the mid player, with the A main player, that kind of synergy is going to be very beautiful to watch in motion on that defense. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I feel pretty confident in saying that this should be Legacy's map to take, and I would be happy to see some competition here from Marsborne.
Yeah, it's a really good point you bring up, because again, it's kind of hard not to ignore, like, for Marsborne, like, again, we've seen in the past where they've had some really decent wins on this map. Like, they've been able to take down, like, getting info. They've been able to beat Blue Jays, some close encounters with M80 on a map like this. But they've honestly been through kind of a bit of a weird little bit of a trance, right? I mean, they're on a 4-loss streak on this map. The closest scoreline was a 13-8 loss against Akimbo. So I don't know. Like, I just don't know if maybe something's disconnected for these guys. Maybe they just haven't really been able to, sharpen the tools a little bit on this map. Whereas, like you said, Legacy, this is definitely a staple. This is a map that they're 8-2 on. They have a very strong record on it. Only losing, more recently against 9Z. And then way back, and I think it was in February, it was against Solid, right? And that was in like an overtime situation. So really, these guys have really solidified that this is their map. So I'm going to be watching a lot for what Marsborne can bring to this, because like we said, Anubis was good, but now they're going to have to even be way better than what we saw in the first map, even if they want to make this competitive.
Yeah, I think it kind of starts from the top, where I got to look at Wolfie and I got to talk about the amount of impact that he's supposed to have in the server, be it from a leading perspective or be it from an opping perspective. And when you've got Lux firing on all cylinders in terms of his calling and individual output, and Sadzin in terms of his individual output, you're being countered from every angle, and you can't let that slide. So need him to have a little bit more of an uptick. He'll get to start on the defense as well, so look out towards that AWP to come out early. But it's Legacy off to the races, and looking at this A bomb site, sometimes they love to just call these A plays off rip and see if they can just play the post plan, and look at how much utility that they're using to deploy. Right off spawn, 2 smokes into Donut, into A main, and they'll take control of this A bomb site with ease.
Yeah, once again, just, finding themselves some site control pretty easily. But now, I mean, even Bottom's taking a big amount of damage as well. And again, no kits, so these guys are fully equipped with armor. So now they're going to be relying on winning these duels. Minus, oh, okay, he's going to get up close and personal. Now things are looking good. Marsborne bouncing back very, very nicely. And now, despite the positioning, despite that Legacy, we're able to get a free site. Marsborne do a great job on the retake, and they make it look easy.
There wasn't really a world there where things could have still spiraled. There was a Molotov in A main trying to be deployed onto that bomb, but it misses the mark just slightly. And that's where it's just a safe haven to defuse even after that kill is found. So good work there from Marsborne. Not trying to waste time with that early mid lurk as well. Just dealing with the tempo pressure. Really trying to push away the T's and feel a little bit more comfortable in that post plant with a lack of kit as well. So speeding up the tempo there was the name of the game, and they succeeded with flying colors. A buy is in here for Legacy, and they trade effectively in the middle. Lada's going to go charging through, trying to find another one, and the last few bullets on the burst connects. Wolfie's been spotted out. He'll be able to upgrade, but you'd think that this site should have been fallen, but Dumau has to find this player back tempo, and he does. And this has to come up with a snap decision here from the Legacy side. They're going to go bounding back into B. It's heard by Wolfie, or by Grizz rather. And there is a fast lurk here from the cave player. They're going to plant, but they should be compounded shortly. Yeah, the plant will be denied, and it's all into Dumau in the clutch. They have triangulated his position, surely at this point. Nade will soften up one. Just 1 tick of damage, but at this point, Dumau should not be able to win this. There is no way. The bomb is down on the B bomb, so you can't go back to A. I mean, you can consider a save as well. I mean, it wasn't even a full investment, so it is a viable option. But he'll walk through now. Grizz back turned. Can't complete the kill. And Marsborne will continue to rack up another round here.
Yeah, tough one for Dumal. Yeah, and again, like you said, it's kind of like one of those situations where you have to make a decision like, hey, I'm going to go for this, or I want to just save this gun. And honestly, either or is fine. But, I mean, saving the gun might have been, I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, it's definitely a bit of a coin toss, but really good job from Marsborne. They handled the threat really, really well. It looked a little chaotic in the beginning. I was getting a little nervous for them, but, you know, they were able to handle that resilience pretty good. So, now Legacy going to commit those Galeals in their hands. Good mid control obtained here from Marsborne, so Minus will be the player to lock things down. But a little bit more aggression from Legacy this round now. They're starting to put a little bit more utility on this. Trying to spread thin the CT side a little bit. Dumal with a really nice opener. It's going to cost him a lot of HP, but that's going to give him that 5-on-4, a little bit of a boost for the time being. Marsborne in a unique position to go for this fight. And Wolfie actually wins the engagement here with a P250 nonetheless. Looking for a little bit more. Things are getting a little bit out of control here. This is awkward.
Just trying to pick up the A1S there, but back into this A-bomb site. Nissim trying to get out of main, and he can't do it. Didn't have a trade potential as well. And the good look for Legacy to start. They try to just bound their way out of middle, tossing in the same pistol utility with the A smokes off spawn. And Marsborne don't really bite. You still got a player in middle. You've still got a second player to deal with it as well. And eventually, they shut down any of those late A lurks. Legacy don't have anything to do in this one. They'll walk it back to this B bomb site where Chop is residing. But this 2v3 does not look good for them, especially considering Dumal's low HP. They're going to have to get a freebie here to really have a chance. With how passive Chop's playing, maybe you think that there's a road in, but there's the sound cue. Giving up. Chop's been spotted. Bomb's still not gone down. He'll get spammed, actually. So that's just round over. 4 seconds left, and Sides is just trying to hold on to this gun for as long as possible. They know where he's gone off to. Spam through. And Sides, last tick of the round will fall. And he'll have to suffer with $600 in his pocket.
Oh, man. Yeah, and I was thinking if he was going to be able to survive that and get away, that could have been really big for them, just, again, keeping that gun in their hands. But, you know, good work from Marsborne, just clearing off the site, you know, just allowing, you know, getting the planter down, and then, again, just running the clock low. That's exactly what they needed. And a 3-0 start. I definitely was not sure what to expect out of this, just in the fact that, you know, statistically, CTNT side, that it is pretty much actually dead even. I think it's about a 53.1% for both sides. But Marsborne are really putting up a big wall right now. They're doing a good job. They're showing a little bit of cracks in those walls, but at least they're able to, you know, put a bit of a fight on this, and some good performances from Grizz. He's sitting at a 5-1, and Chop as well has really put himself up, and, you know, again, you'd love to see it.
Yeah, definitely so. You're starting to get a little bit more of those win conditions come alive, and Grizz off of that cave position is very potent. You can have a lot of say in terms of control, in terms of impact on the round, crunching into that lane position, crunching into middle if need be. And already 150 ADR to start is definitely nice to have. We'll get Wolfie, or I believe, who are we missing? Modem, Chop, Wolfie, Minus. We're missing Minus.
Yeah. Minus player. Just kidding. But terrible pun. But, you know, is there anything from your perspective, Paladin? Like, I mean, we're seeing Marsborne doing, again, a great job handling a lot of aggression. Like, is there anything different you would want to see from them? I mean, they have, it looks like the Op's going to come out now. Do you, like, is that going to be enough as a difference maker for this too, just to kind of keep themselves in an undefeated streak?
I think Legacy are kind of overcomplicating things right now. They're trying really hard to condition Marsborne. Marsborne are not biting. They're really sticking to their strong suits, and that is just comfortable crossfires across the map. And the way they're doing it across a couple of players looks pretty solid. I would still like to see a little more focus on mid control, especially considering these off-rip A-spawn smokes that they're throwing and they're not committing to. I think you can just really believe in a double, triple play in middle and try to put some pressure on Legacy. Try to neuter Dumao as long as possible, because he will find his impact on that side of the map, and you just want to make sure that he can't. And he's got to find different avenues, potentially trading into A or trading into B. So let's see what they'll do, Legacy. Finally, they'll take a full save in this situation. They've had a couple of opportunities with the economy and a couple of bomb plants that they've been able to rack up, but now's the time for Marsborne to get themselves a fourth.
Yeah, maybe a little, not so much overcomplicating in Nissim, though, just trying to clear all angles. Oh, man. He's almost able to find that Deeg, and Wolfie gets a second chance at life for this one. So he's going to be able to survive here with some damage hitting him. But you can see that Legacy have kind of split things off, right? They put a lot of reliance here for Nissim to kind of just, you know, bite a little bit of these players at A, just kind of keep them there. Balm's now going to make a full rotate through. And you can see Legacy, they're just kind of feeling the waters, right? I mean, they're just trying to get the temperature. What's a little bit more warm? What do they want to really go for a swim in? It kind of seems like the bomb's going to make its way up towards mid. They might even just try to crunch maybe, you know, a little bit of a potentially even red room. I mean, if they go donut, I mean, surely they're going to be dead here, right, Paladin? I mean, you got double players just locked and loaded, ready to go.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, but strength in numbers is the name of the game here for the T side. Maybe they can find one. If they can't, a little bit of pressure added, but Minus shuts it down. Quick double for him, looking for a 3-piece in the round, and he absolutely will. Just Nissim left up in this one. Teagle in hand, looking for that one-shot headshot. And he's got to die, too. 20 seconds left, and he'll get it done. Marsborne keep that clean sheet alive. They retain the AWP, keep 5 men alive as well. So that economy looks splendid. And finally, you get an actual purchase from Legacy. What does Lux want to call in this situation? I'm very curious, because now that you've got all the bells and whistles, you've got the mid utility that you can toss in, you can vie for control early. What is the idea? Early smokes in through middle. And yeah, here's that double play to fight in middle with a third player available in terms of an exchange if that comes in. They'll flash through the utility. They want to go charging in. Dumao goes down, but Lux is there to trade. But there's that impact that I'm talking about from Grizz. He can fight in from cave, crunch into that middle of the site, and looks splendid. But there are still openings. There is still that opening on that A bomb site, and they'll waltz all the way onto the bomb site.
Yeah, and right now, too, especially for Lotto, again, he's got the double flash here. 1 molly remaining here for Nissim, too, so they can time this well. I mean, they could even preserve that molly to land under the bomb, but again, it's all about if he can be able to survive this. Lotto, a labor kill. Grizz almost takes him out, but he's looking for more, and Lotto again finds the double kill. Wolfie, unfortunately, not with the wolf back, cannot seem to really find himself any moment to get the attack done. Now Chop just picking up some consolation prizes. Needs to be able to keep this op in his hands, but he's just got a player close on by. He spots Sodson. Oh, and he just misses it. And Legacy back on the board, picks up an op. And everybody going to be able to survive those 2 players. So not a bad round from Legacy, but man, oh man, Marsborne, they made it interesting.
Yeah, I think in that situation, the mid control there, just not strong enough to hold on. I mean, the trade is solid, and Grizz does great work there, but then that's where Legacy really quickly realized they've got 3 players crunching in, max 1 player on that A bomb site. They go bounding in, catch a player, back turned on Donut. And that's the double-edged sword of mid control with 3 players. They've got to neuter themselves a little bit here, Marsborne. Slow the pace down. But Grizz still unrelenting in the front of Cave. Minus, meanwhile, does shut down that threat in middle. Spams through Donut. That's really key. Dumao has not had that sort of lift off that we had on Anubis so far, and it's giving Marsborne a second lease on life.
Oh man, I was going to say that's some sick tagging, but the fact that he can just tag and bag and gets it done. Man, Grizz is just having a field day with this game so far, like 8-2. And that's what we talked about, right? We put the player to watch as being Dumao from Legacy, but Grizz was somebody that you and I have really, really like pumped his tires a lot, just saying, look, like when this guy can frag, and he can be a difference maker, and he's already putting himself in another kill. So this is looking good here for Marsborne, being able to find their 5th. And Legacy, you know, they've seemed to be a little bit halted here. They're getting a little bit humble now, but oh man, okay, a little bit interesting, but nonetheless, Marsborne still on top.
I got a little cheeky.
Yeah, sick.
But all good. It looks like he was just low on enemy ammunition, so he had to go for that tap. But damage is good. We've still eroded this economy, but Legacy can't really purchase in. They've got max loss at this point, but yeah, take attack. Discuss things out because this lead is quickly widening against them. I don't feel like they have completely a handle on the situation. I don't think they have got a real clear game plan. They're really hoping that this mid control would go favorably for them, but Dumao is just not finding anything, and the counters are there. They've really not really tested that lane side of the map. I'd like them to at least test the waters there. Maybe try to fight for the front jag control from both sides. I mean, if you've got a save, you might as well try to go for a faster B play as well. A lot of options still open here for Lux, and he's really just trying to hope that these A splits or the mid control can kind of bail him out.
Yeah, and the fact that, again, we just see, like, this mid-control, you can see Wolfie in red, and then it's also just Minus that's kind of by himself, right? I mean, I've been always getting a little bit nervous, but it's working out well, and look at how fast they just put themselves in map control. Chop's already pushed down all the way on long B. They've been able to just get themselves some really good real estate. That smoke and B door is definitely going to help. And now Legacy gonna have to reconfigure the game plan. Chop. Oh, there's that trigger discipline. That's what we're talking about. This could just be mayhem, or this could be a disaster. But oh, that MP9 of death indeed puts himself in the double and a USP to capitalize the triple. And Chop has just been on the chop and block. And Legacy on the receiving end of this, not able to find a duel in their favor at all. Doing some damage. But this round is over. There is no chance in the world, unless Nissim can hit some nasty one-taps with this Galil. This should be Marsborne in the bag, and indeed it will, with a 6-1 Paladin. They are just taking this map away.
Yeah, it's such unfortunate timing there for Legacy. They decide to finally go through lane, try to crunch in through mid, but unbeknownst to them, Chop decides to get a little bit more aggressive, bounding down through the lane, walking through his own smoke, catches 3 players with backs turned, and capitalizes upon it. I mean, great work from these anchors all throughout. I mean, Grizz having impact from Cave, Chop doing work on B. I mean, MOTM and Minus also shutting down this mid play. It's looking wonderful here for Marsborne, and Legacy right now I've got to find what that plan B is. And I mean, maybe plan B is just more plan A. They'll go bounding through their own mid smoke and they'll find one, but Grizz again holding down lane and finding so much impact into middle as well. They'll go boosting through. Is Grizz aware? Yes, but they don't actually capitalize on his aggression. And so Legacy in the 4v4 just seem a little dazed and confused. They've got to re-clear a lot of this map out. And luckily for them, lane is open for business.
Yeah, Dumo's had a bit of a slow game, right? I mean, I don't think we've really actually been able to talk about that. We've really been praising a lot for Grizz and what he's been able to do on this, and as well as Chop. But, you know, the kid he played to watch was Dumo, and unfortunately he's, it looks like he kind of put all that gas in the first one, and it seems like he's running on a little bit of fumes for this, but so plenty of action to see, only round 8, and now the execute from Legacy, going to get thrown. Smoke's going to block off elbow. Now the Molly's going to get thrown. And Marsborne are going to allow this. They're going to just play the full retake setup on this, waiting for the spamming if they can. Lux just barely surviving. He should be able to get this plant down unless they have the utility, but they don't. So now Legacy get the bomb down. Triple players here just behind Pyramid, and this is where they have to be able to find the perfect timing, the utility. A Molly available with a flash or a modem. But they might even just go for the gunfights. That's exactly what they might just do. And Legacy now, they got the open hand of Sods in. He's posted on long, needs to be able to find this shot. And now the guns are going in favor for Legacy one by one. Marsborne need to be able to find something, and now it's turned around on its head because Nissim on the clutch, and he's on the 1-on-2, and the diffuser's already coming through. Oh, it's a ninja, and Marsborne, once again, they ain't done with this at all. A Glock for consolation, but it doesn't even matter. The round is already over.
I mean, you've got what you wanted if you're Legacy. You're getting the post plane. You're getting a chance to kind of stretch the legs of these individuals and showcase that little... The little flair that these Brazilians have, and they don't get it. They don't get it at the end of the day. Sadzin up and posted for a couple, but I mean, Chop is just continuing to do some great work. They're still doing so much in terms of the impact from Grizz's perspective as well. And all of a sudden, Legacy are running out of answers, and they're running out of rounds. Dumao has tried so many times to get out of this mid-smoke, and he has died nearly every single time. This time, Legacy will simplify it. They'll try to charge in a B, but this time Grizz, he realizes, I don't have to fight lane anymore. I can fight in B. Sadzin will have one last-ditch effort, and he'll fall. It's all up to Nissim, that A player, straggling behind. And he'll take some more chip damage, 66 HP to his name. 3 members to find on the other side. And just, I don't know, man. Just nothing to really speak of in this one. It just feels like Lux has hit a wall.
Yeah. They really have. It's just like, this was not at all what I was expecting. Like I said, I was wanting Marsborne to be able to bring a lot more heat into this one, and they really have. I mean, this is a map where I talked about it, right? 4 rounds or 4 maps, 4 losses on this map. Wow, that was hard to comprehend apparently for me. But, I mean, this is where Legacy, they just have not been able to find any sort of success. But Marsborne have just been running away with this. But I love to see it because, I mean, we saw Anubis. They were starting to get things picked up a little bit. But it kind of felt a little bit too late. Now they've really just used that map, the best of 1 on the first one there to warm up. And look at how much better they're playing. And this is exactly what we were talking about with a team like this. Haven't been able to call a timeout. Legacy now are on their 2nd. So, look, I mean, these guys are starting to shake a little bit. I think they're realizing they're going to get fully humbled here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think they feel any kind of pressure per se. It's more so just not being on the same page. I mean, eventually Dumao's got to stop. Like, he just got to stop going out of that mid-smoke. They've tried, I think, 3 or 4 of their buy rounds that they've had. They're starting on man disadvantages because they're just not able to trade out mid. And if Marsborne are able to solve that, all of a sudden, I mean, Legacy just run out of options. You know, your A extremity players have gotten a couple of kills. Your B lurks are non-existent. I mean, you're not taking lane control bar a few rounds. So there just aren't any fallback options when you put all the eggs in the Dumao basket. And yes, it can bail you out on certain occasions, but if it can't, you've got to find a way to adapt. And Lux has just not found that gear just yet. I mean, they're going to try it again, man. They're going to try to get out through middle. Dumao takes a hell of a lot of damage, but the spray goes awry for minus, and now Dumao can kind of find his footing here. Grizz is there to shut down any little bit of mid presence, but it's this A play that has been kind to Legacy. Wolfie cuts one down, and he still got himself the man advantage, but now into the 3v3, things get a little dicey. Lotto goes aggressive in the temple, and now it's a 1v2 for Grizz. An absolutely Herculean bounce back here from Grizz. 16 and 6, 2 kills deep. Needs another 2 to close this one out. And he's completely repositioned. Legacy think that this donut position is so clear and ready, but now they've figured it out. Dumao has picked it up, and now Grizz, this one gets a little bit more dicey. Headshot required on both targets, and the crossfire is there. High-low setup, and Legacy scrounged together a 2nd round.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange, right? I mean, Marsborne did a good job, again, just putting up some good fights, but, you know, Wolfie was able to get the op with the connection, but it was such a weird peak because I think it was just about the timing, right? Like, Lotto was able to go into Temple, finding that double kill like that. I mean, it just felt like they weren't ready. Like, I think Wolfie had a molly in his hand, or he had some kind of utility in his hand, so they were never expecting that kind of aggression, but that's exactly what Legacy needed to do. So they capitalized on the moment, they seized the moment, and they got it. They finally get a round back on the board. It's been such a long time since they've been able to do that. And now Marsborne going to be switching up their composition a little bit. They're playing full aggression mid on this. Grizz with that P2K, man. I don't know what it is with him. He always seems to find a quick kill with it, and then it's over. But, you know, quick and dusted round. Legacy cleaned up very nicely. 1 casualty, not much to be worried about. But now we're going into the last round of this half, and the op's going to be out for Wolfie. And Grizz just kind of waiting to see what he's going to be able to pick up on this. The M4A1. And that means Chop's going to be on the FAMAS, so, all right.
I mean, 4 rounds, this game is not over by a long shot, and that all comes off the back of 1 miss spray in middle. If they're able to get 1 or 2 kills in that previous gun round, maybe it's on, but look at this, ring around the rosy between both of these players, and Dumal comes the better. He's hella pissed at this point. Lux got himself 1. Nade seems good. Pushes away Wolfie, and he gets just destroyed on that AK from Nissim. Grizz will find 1 more, but man, disadvantage. This feels a little bit more difficult to piece together for Marsborne. Maybe, just maybe, that 4th round is around the corner. An absolute standstill, though. Smoke in the middle of the bomb site, no matter. Nissim and Lotto will shut it down. 4 rounds pieced together from Legacy, and they've got a little bit more to say in this first half. We'll see you after the break.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Second half here for the second best of 1 here. And Marsborne have put themselves in a really, really good lead. With an 8-4 Legacy, were able to get themselves scraped through in the last remaining rounds. But Paladin, is that going to be enough for Legacy to maybe find themselves a bounce back for a 2-0 tonight?
And it's going to be tough. It comes down to this pistol right here. Another opportunity for Legacy to climb back into this best of one. Bounding into this A bomb site, our Legacy, or Marsborne rather, into the dual Berettas of Dumao. And this is where he can do his best work. Look at that quad kill for Dumao. And he's done his job and then some. He's been quiet all map, but now he has a chance to scream.
Yeah, I mean, he really did have himself a bit of a quiet one in the beginning, right? I mean, in the beginning of or the ending point of the first half, he was sitting at a 6 and 10. Now with the quad kill, sitting at a 10 and 11, and this is where we're going to be curious if Legacy can bring themselves a little bit more back into the fighting form that we know they can do. But Marsborne do have the rounds in their favor. This might not be the round indeed. I mean, we haven't seen a Glock round in forever, but I mean, for them, at least they have a little bit of padding they can work with. But now the pressure's all in Legacy, and that's what we talked about. Again, they've only had 2 losses officially on this map in such a long time, whereas Marsborne are looking to bounce back here from the deficit of what they became.
I definitely got all the roots now. And now it's Dumao's turn to watch the smoke and potentially punish some players. Look at this. Glock finding a head, but not a kill for Sadzin. However, he'll rack up some SMG cash, so things look good here for Legacy to cut this lead down to 2. They'll make some money while doing it. There goes Lotto. It's just Modem now. Any kills would be nice, and he does find one, so looks pretty good there, but all the rifles will be retained. And now is the real kind of resilience necessary from Marsborne. Yes, you've gotten the lead. You've put in the long, hard yards on that CT side. But now you've got to shut it down. You've got to shut down the possibility of Legacy just taking this away from under your nose.
Yeah, this is an important round. I mean, to say the least, right? I mean, Marsborne have shown us a really good CT side, but now they really got to flex the biceps a little bit here on the T side to show what they can do with it. A little bit more of a split approach on this, and it actually does look like Minus has put himself through this elbow smoke, so he's actually been able to get through the gap. Just blocked off here. Dumao just on the other side of this. Is he going to be able to find this? And he does. He betters them and wins that engagement. And now putting them in a nice 5-on-4. Lotto actually not going to go for the spam. He's going to play this a little bit more conservative. Grizz getting hungry for it, and there he is able to find another kill. This is exactly what we wanted to see from Marsborne, being able to just capitalize these duels. Taking barely any damage into this. Only 62 now remaining here for Minus. And you can see Legacy, they're trying everything for the rotates. Bomb's going to go down to the safe site. This has got to be a save, Paladin. There is no way we should be seeing Lux or Sodzin going for this unless they can find some duels quickly. But it just, no. They got to run for the hills now.
Yeah, they're not hanging around at all. I mean, that is a beautiful round there from Marsborne. Flipping the script, you switch halves. Minus is still up to his antics as middle, still shutting down Dumao. Grizz still having impact off of the lane. And then they just walk all the way through that A bomb site. Even if Grizz doesn't find one kill, even if Minus doesn't find his, that round was done with. There was nobody to respond to the A pressure. There was going to be a backstab and a half through the donut. And Wolfie really pieces one together there. Pulls the wool over the Legacy eyes. And now they get that round that I was hoping for. That round to showcase that, hey, we're not letting this happen for free. We're not letting you just kick the door down and take this game away from us. There's still a purchase available with 2 guns saved. But Marsborne showcasing a little bit of tomfoolery. A little bit of deception.
Lots of deception. Loss, though, from Nissim. I've been liking the FAMAS a lot more. Oh god, Dumao. Dumao. Oh, that's so sick. Oh, yes, indeed. It's going to be a 2K. Why not? Finds it right through the smoke. Gets himself, drops his gun. I think he was hoping there was a gun nearby, but a little awkward. It's fine. No T players close on by, and now Modem and Wolfie back of T spawn and taking it slow, and they're like, well, what do we do now, Paladin? What are our options? What do we have to work with? I mean, they got some utility, but again, and the bomb's on their back, which is a good thing, but they're going to need a bit of a silver lining here. They need an opening of some kind.
I think it's just go back to spawn and sing Kumbaya because that's probably your best bet. This one is an open and shut case in a lot of senses, but they'll still reclaim lane control. See if they can find a straggling CT, but no one's home. They'll continue to crawl through the cave. All these CTs playing very far back, allowing space to be taken. But there's always a trade available for the defense. Smoke in for the short side, smoke in for the long side as well. Plant should be available. And the spams don't connect from the defense, so a chance at this. Double nades into default, and they want to go bounding through, but they'll hold for just a little bit longer, and that's what they needed. They needed that spam kill, and now they can just swarm. They can put all the pressure on Modem, and he'll go down after one. So, look at this, man. Dumao now getting a little bit more antsy, and putting that effort and that fire into the lane side of things, completely disassembling that B setup, and finding impact elsewhere, not trying to force himself down that mid throat.
Yeah, he's really starting to pick things up really nicely, like you said, and really important. And now Marsborne realizing, look, we got to call our first tactical and just kind of reconvening the game plan, figuring what they need to do. But Legacy are looking like they're kind of waking up a lot better right now. Marsborne, though, you know, despite that position of a 2-on-4, I mean, they got the bomb down, which was good, and a little bit of trades back and forth, but it was just, unfortunately for Modem, it was just the positioning was a little bit off. He really relied on his teammate to stay alive, just for him to be able to prevail in the position he was in. But a good timeout for them, just again, figure things out. They got the guns out, ready to go. They've been able to get the bomb down, which has been impressive. It's really just been, they've been losing players kind of in the post plants, which has really been the demise, but no ops here. This will be a little bit more interesting as well.
Yeah, they've run out of money now at this point. It's going to be a little dicey. But Legacy, more importantly, are doing it without the AWP. They're just trying to stay mobile in these gunfights and trying to stay active in terms of punishment. But this time it's Marsborne's turn to up the tempo. They'll take cave control straight away and really push off these CTs on the B end. But Dumao still found himself mid-control despite the mid-utility. And now Lux has reclaimed lane. So things go from bad to worse for Marsborne, and they can't find Dumao. Dumao is just playing, dodging and weaving through that box. And now all that good work, all that map control from Marsborne just disintegrates right before them.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate too, and a flawless round from Legacy. So Marsborne being really active and just running all over the map, but unfortunately they just couldn't bring any, you know, firepower in this round. I mean, it was just, they were just completely missing in there. So Legacy, the fact they're able to take it out, 5 duels for no deaths is a good thing to know. 1 round of a differential, and let's not forget, Paladin, I mean, this was an 8-4 in favor for Marsborne. So they've been able to only find 1 round this entire second half. And Legacy are now slowly have been able to climb themselves back in this game. Marsborne now looking like they're just going to hightail it, and B, just hope that they might be able to get the timing of this. Some damage inflicted, but this should be a done and dusted round, and things are getting cleaned up nicely. Bomb's not going to have a chance in the world for a plant. And there we go. Tie game within a matter of moments. Well. A 9-9.
All tied square. This is what you like to see. Fight from both teams. And now you've got all the win cons kind of firing now for both Legacy and Marsborne. Lado trying to get involved in the fight. Spams look good. And we'll be able to survive the onslaught. Marsborne now, it's their turn to get scared, right? I mean, they're taking so much time to really be methodical and slow the pace of these rounds down, considering how much aggression has come from the CTs. But now Legacy pull back. They've gotten themselves a 5v4, and they don't give Marsborne an inch.
Yeah, this is, again, a nice duel, and Wolfie already going down is not going to be good. It's problematic, and Lotto able to find himself one more too. Good trade back from Bottom though, and Sodson just wide open peak. Puts the off to work, makes a good connection now. 2 remaining players of Marsborne, Chop and Minus. They've got themselves a decent game, a decent, you know, best of 1 so far today, but now they really have to kick things up, and a Minus pulls out the nade of the worst time in the world, unfortunately for him. And there we go. A lead is now going to be obtained. Legacy, a long way to get there, but they're going to be able to find double digits.
Yeah, they've just come screaming back into the front now. And you got to give credit to Lotto shutting down the lane. You got to give credit to Dumao with his resurgence in middle. And you've got to give credit to Sodson and Lux there on that B bomb site. A lot of great work being done here from Legacy on this defense. Really slowing down the Marsborne approach and really switching up their setups, switching up the pacing in terms of their aggression as well. And it's just thrown Marsborne for a loop. They can't keep up with this. I'm going to try their hand at lane pressure again, but I've got to do it with pistols. Molotov to stop any heaven aggression, and maybe they can find some cave pressure, but again, nothing being given. Another just complete slowdown from Legacy. And Marsborne will say, screw it. We're just going to Hail Mary into this B bomb site. We're going to try to break down this triangle of doom. And they find one side of the triangle, but there's still 2 more. And Legacy will pounce right back, continue their winning ways, inch ever closer to that 2-0 sweep.
Well, big round here for Marsborne, and again, Wolfie's going to be back out with the op. Sodson's really been able to turn this game around too, right? I mean, a 15-9 score. Like, just looking at the, you know, the KD ratio from all these guys, like even Lux, like I think he was 3-12, like in the first half. Like, he was just so absent. Like, these guys had nothing going for them. Marsborne were just annihilating them, and now look at what they're able to do. They just go for big swings like that. Minus just gets overwhelmed. He's never expecting, why is this player just going to swing me like that? And now they've been able to find double kills, get themselves in a bigger advantage here for the map point. And now Marsborne once again in a deficit that have to bring things through. Oh, and Lotto gets spotted. Oh man, surely not. I was going to say surely not, but Marsborne thankfully are able to find themselves some good kills. But it's a 3-on-2 Legacy. Posted up, Sodson ready to go. Smoke is going to block his vision. Oh, is he going to get the timing of this?
Beautiful.
Oh, that is so filthy. So filthy. You love to see it. And now Legacy right on the end of finishing this thing off.
I mean, just great intuition, just beautiful flight path there from Sodson. I mean, taking that initial engagement, instantaneously knows that he's going to reswing from short. And as soon as you see that smoke, sometimes your brain just tells you, okay, let's slow down a bit. But he already was in that flow state of tossing out that nade. And just nothing that Marsborne can do. Yes, they cut down a couple of players on that B bomb site. Yes, they find their necessary entry, but now you can just feel the momentum and the confidence, the firepower on the other end, and you cannot keep up with what Marsborne, or sorry, rather what Legacy is being thrown at Marsborne. And this T side has been completely stifled at all avenues. They're sitting behind smokes. Lotto has now decided to take matters into his own hands, taking lane control as well. And it just looks ugly. It looks ugly for Marsborne, and they're going to have to dig deep here. 3 rounds necessary to push us into extra innings. And frankly, lads, I don't know if they have it.
Yeah, it's just not really seemed like it, right? I mean, the T side really has just been problematic for them in Lotto.
There's a chance.
Oh, God. How does he get away with that one, too? I mean, the fact, I mean, yes, he takes a lot of damage, but this is the thing. Marsborne just, unfortunately, just does not seem like they have any sort of comfort. They don't even clear it, and oh, man! Chop thankfully can save the day. With 8 HP to spare, now they're really just on the grind. They have to be able to, like you said, they need 3 rounds to push this thing into an overtime to keep themselves in this game. And right now, Legacy getting active, and Sodson posted up on long, waiting things out, and that's going to be the bomb carry of Wolfie, so Wolfie has to be so careful on this. Dumao already coming in from short, might be able to find this timing, but Modem still looking for more. The flash going to get thrown nicely placed from him, so they're going to be able to find themselves another opener, but There it is, done and dusted within a blink of an eye, and a 13-9 and a 13-8 on the previous means that Legacy, they're going to be able to get themselves a 2-0 for the night.
Yeah, and you know, I just think back to that one whiff spray from Minus in middle that gave the eco win to Legacy, and they just climb back and just get those 3 extra rounds at the tail end. And that's that little bit of hope that Legacy have moving forward is just enough confidence to them that they can just take over things in the tail end. Great work from Dumao to just bounce back, I think, from like a 2-10 deficit there to start off in that first half. Gets a quad kill in the pistol, a second half pistol, and just doesn't look back. Completely puts it in the rearview mirror. And same goes for Marsborne. They'll also be left in the dust here. 107 ADR performance here from the Star Rifler of Legacy. And you got to say, it's all from him that Legacy have to thank.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, like you said, you know, he started off that first half with a pretty poor score line, and the fact that, you know, as soon as he gets on the CT side, it looks so much better. Getting the quad kill to getting things started off, that's where you can just see where these stats are just really popping off, right? I mean, that's what we were wanting to see from a player like Dumao. I'm loving what we're seeing from him. The fact that he's actually starting to perform like the way we know he can. So there was a little bit of a slump before previously, but I think that's a long history now.
Yeah, for Marsborne, it just got to be back to the books. We've got to find a way to re-engage and really buckle down for this busy season that's coming up. The MRQ is 2 weeks around the corner, and we'll see them in playoffs eventually as well here in ECL. So just a quick little reminder, though. Before we go out, make sure to sign up for ESEA League. The registration does close very soon. I believe we only have like an hour or two. So definitely try to get there and sign up to play in Open. Because, of course, if you want to join the big leagues, if you want to join the likes of Dumao and Grizz here in ECL, you've got to start that grind somewhere. And that ESEA League is the perfect stop to do that. But that being said, folks, that's going to do it for the broadcast today. We hope you enjoyed the B-Stream broadcast between Legacy and Marsborne. It's Laz and Paladin signing out. Have a good night.